another treatment called Moxibustion?
Yes, Moxa.
Yeah, what?
Moxa,
I've never heard that word
Moxa
before.
comes from the, it's an herb actually. It's in Chinese, it's Aye. It comes from the mugwort plant.
Okay.
And it's, I'm not totally sure, but I think it's scraped from dried leaves and rolled into a puffy substance. And we burn it, basically, and we use it both for the kind of nature of the herb itself. It's a very moving herb, kind of breaks up stagnation, gets things moving. And the heat from burning this herb tends to penetrate deep into tissues as well, so we use it for kind of a heat therapy as well. And you can use it for all sorts of different issues in the body. Again, it's just one aspect, like one tool in your tool belt. You know, another one is cupping.
Oh yeah, I've heard
and
of that. Can
not
I
just
go back to this one for
okay,
just
absolutely.
So somebody comes in and you're going to treat them with Moxibustion. What do they do? You're going to take this herb and burn, like...
There are different ways, there are different
Yeah.
applications of it. One is typically you see as a Moxa stick. It looks like a cigar,
Okay.
And you burn it, and they either sell holders or boxes that you can put on top of the body that catch the ash, so you don't burn someone. That's first and foremost.
Is it like incense or a smudge stick or something?
Sort of. Very similar, but thicker, more about the size of my finger. And then you can hold it over the point and kind of press it in and kind of modulate the heat as you keep your hand on the person's body, because again, you don't want to burn anybody with this, right?
Yeah.
There's also something called direct moxa, where it's in a looser form, and you can form it into cones or smaller pieces, and either use a medium, such as a slice of garlic or a slice of ginger.
That sounds
And
good.
put that on top of it, and then you burn it directly on top of the medium over the body point itself to generate a lot of heat. Can also use salt as a medium as well. For particular issues, you can make something called a salt box, put it over a certain section of the body, fill it with like a kosher salt or the pink Himalayan salt, and make a cone of the moxa and burn that directly on top of that. And this salt has again, its own nature, right? So it combines with the nature of the herb as well.
Never heard of
The
this.
smoke penetrates the skin, the smoke has an effect, and then the heat is dissipated into the body, having an effect as well.
The interesting thing with Moxibustion, I've had it done
Have you? Okay.
before. Yeah, Howie has done it on me before. It helps sometimes to do that during or before massage, or with it, as well as cupping. I've had that done too. And can you explain to us what happens with cupping? Because so many people, they say, well, Jennifer Aniston does it, why does she do it? And Gwyneth Paltrow. What exactly is cupping?
Cupping is basically providing negative pressure over a section of the body. Traditionally, the way we would do it, we would use glass cups, use fire, a burning alcohol pad, to burn out the oxygen inside the cup, providing a vacuum at that point. So you place that over the body, and it pulls up on the skin, and also pulls on the subcutaneous tissue and any fluids in the body. So it tends to bring up, what we would call in Chinese medicine stagnant blood, but congealed blood, congealed body fluids, pulls them up to the surface, allowing fresh blood to come underneath and nourish those tissues that have been neglected for so long, right, with this stagnant blood and bound muscle tissue and all these other things, and allow healing to happen while it pulls it up to the surface and allows your body to dissipate it that way. Relieving stagnation. Again, we go back to the idea of that. Once stagnation, there is pain. Stagnation is a huge issue, and it translates not just to physical issues. I mean, you use cupping for all sorts of muscle aches and pains and chronic issues. But that stagnation, again, like our emotions and our psychological well-being are tied in with our physical well-being when you look at it from a Chinese medical standpoint. When we relieve these stagnations in our emotional states tend to have an effect as well. And I've seen it on the table as well, treating someone for lower back pain, and they'll start crying, not from the pain of the needles, but they'll start crying on the table because they feel this release. Yeah, they feel this release.
Wow.
Right? So it never ceases to amaze me.